1 minute.
1 minute, mics are off. We doing questions today?
Are the mics hot? Yeah, they're on. 30. Ten, 5, 4, 3.
Good afternoon. I'm Cookeville Mayor Ricky Shelton.
And I'm Putnam County Mayor Randy Porter. This is our COVID-19 coronavirus community update for Friday, April the 17th. Today, as of 2 p.m., our total number of confirmed cases in Putnam County is 94, which is one more than yesterday. Please remember over 50% of those positive cases were from Signature Healthcare patients and workers where everyone in the facility was tested a few weeks ago. Also in Putnam, we have done much more testing than most of the other counties our size based on population, which of course is going to result in more positives. I'm not trying to downplay our number of positives, just want to be as transparent as possible so you understand them. So looking back since Tuesday of this week, we've only had 2 increases. I think our number Tuesday was 92, so in 4 days we've only went up 2. Unfortunately, we also recorded our first deaths associated with the virus, which is 3. Those happened at Signature Healthcare in Allgood over the past few days. Our prayers are with the family of those deceased loved ones. I won't go into those much further as we have CEO of Signature, Lee Rooney, with us today. I will say that the state website is only showing 2 as far as the number of deaths, but there has been 3 according to Signature Healthcare. The other counties in the Upper Cumberland that have confirmed positives are Cannon with 7, Clay with 5, Cumberland with 53, DeKalb 10, Fentress 3, Jackson 6, Macon 29, Overton 7, Smith 11, Van Buren 1, Warren 4, and White County has 4. Our drive-through testing clinic at our health department on County Services Drive is still in operation. The schedule during the week is Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. This weekend, they will also be open on Sunday afternoon from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. If you want to be tested, just drive by. They are testing anyone that wants to be tested. Again, Putnam County has 94 confirmed cases, which is one more than yesterday. Mayor Shelton.
Yes, it is sad to report the 3 local deaths from Signature Healthcare today. Now, for 3 weeks, we've said to please listen, follow the directives, take personal responsibility, heed the guidance from experts, and do your part to stop the spread. Use common sense so that you can protect one another, and do your part and stay apart. The people of Cookeville and Putnam County are resilient, and we come together to collectively do the right thing and take care of each other. Most of you are doing the necessary things, so let's keep encouraging one another so we can get through this as quickly as possible. The governor's stay-at-home directive is through April 30th. President Trump unveiled the guidelines for opening up America again, which were developed by the top medical experts from across the government and based on verified metrics regarding the situation on the ground. The guidelines outline a phased return to reopening and include specific steps for state and local officials to follow in tailoring our response. The governor is working on a plan and roadmap for how we locally manage and mitigate health and safety while we start opening back up our economy in some measured way and get our people back to work. I think we all realize there will be a new normal. Some of the measures, physical distancing, wearing face coverings or masks, or sanitizing, will most likely be part of this new normal for some length of time. So if you do go out to get needed items, one person in the house go instead of the family, one person, one cart. Utilize physical distancing, masks, and sanitizers. Also, please consider supporting our local restaurants who are struggling right now by utilizing delivery services, curbside pickup, and online shopping. Remember, the essential business list only lists the types of businesses that can be open. It does not say who can be in those businesses or what can be purchased. It's up to those businesses to be socially responsible to manage that. The police department will not be doing that. The police are not going to randomly pull you over for being out unless, of course, you did something else that warrants a pullover. When you go out and do return home, wash your hands and wipe down anything you touched. Now here is Lee Rooney with Signature Healthcare for an update on his facility.
want to start by saying thank you for Mayor Porter and Mayor Shelton for all they do for our community. I want to thank them for allowing me the time today to come out and talk to those to make sure they understand what we've done at Signature, what we're continuing to do. Nursing homes in the United States at this time are being devastated by COVID-19. You can't go a day without hearing of a new facility in a new location, different states that have gone through a lot of trauma, a lot of deaths. Right now, President Trump and the administration are recognizing that nursing homes are a main focus. They're encouraging facilities to get facility-wide testing. Fortunately for myself and our local community here, we were able to do that 3 weeks ago. I think from what we did 3 weeks ago has enabled us to get ahead, more so than where we would be if we didn't do a facility-wide test back on March 31st. We've had minimal increase in terms of positive tests from an elder and an employee standpoint. I'm sad to report that we did have 3 deaths at this point as of this morning. 2, I can say, had signs and symptoms of COVID, not to necessarily say that was the cause, but 1 did not have any signs or symptoms, even though that she had a positive test. I don't feel that COVID was related or was the cause of what her passing was. Unfortunately, in long-term care, we do have to deal with death and dying because we are dealing with our most sick, and the elderly is the most sick, and the ones that are most susceptible to what is going on with COVID at this time. Since I was here last, we have finalized our COVID unit. We've had a lot of success in terms of the staffing, taking care of our elderly patients on that unit. We are currently in discussions with other facilities that have had COVID positive patients that are looking at moving them to our COVID unit. I can report some positives, which is we've had 2 of our patients on that unit has successfully had 2 negative tests at this point, and they have been returned to the general population, 1 on our upstairs unit and 1 that actually went home today with family. We currently have 8 other patients at this point that we've sent tests in to try to find out if they might be negative at this time too. So we're hoping to get those tests back within the next couple of days. So we're seeing a lot of positive outcomes at this point. We do have a few that are showing minimal signs and symptoms, but until they go about 7 days, we're not doing a test on them to find out if they're negative. With staff, we've had a lot of success as well. The majority of our staff have returned with negative tests. There's still 4 that's outstanding at this point that we're waiting on a negative test for. Now, what I'm doing at my facility is making sure that anybody, before they are taken off the COVID unit or before they return to our facility as an employee, they need to have 2 negative tests. I want to make sure that everything we've done up to this point is not in vain and bring somebody back or off the unit too quickly. Also, in terms of taking new patients, we are ensuring that nobody is admitted unless they have been tested. We don't want to admit somebody that is not sure if they're positive or negative. So we are requesting that any new admit that we might take in has either a negative test or a positive test so we can make sure we put them in the appropriate location. Everything we've done at this point is to be as transparent as possible. Sometimes the things you have to do is not always easy, and this definitely was not, but it was the right thing. I think my families and my employees can certainly rest assured that we always make the decisions that's in the best interest of our patients and our employees. So going forward, we'll always continue to do that, and I think that gives reassurance to our families to make sure that they feel like we have their best interests in mind. It hasn't been easy, continues to be a struggle every day. I want to commend the work of our local community here for the things that they've done for my facility. I hear from them weekly and daily, and they're always reaching out to find out what more they can do for us, and I greatly appreciate that. I appreciate my families and those others in the community that have reached out to us to provide support. They've been very understanding. We appreciate the compliments, the signs, the shout outs on Facebook, things like that. We greatly appreciate it. I want to say to my staff how greatly appreciative I am of them. They've been fantastic throughout this whole thing. I can't ask for a better group of people to work with. My company is strong, and they continue to show strength every day. My staff is caring, committed, and courageous, and they show it every day, and I'm grateful for that. For those that want to send out well wishes to us and keep us in their prayers, you can do that by going to our Signature Healthcare Putnam County Facebook page. If you want to go on and send good wishes out, my staff and the patients themselves review that daily, so they're always looking for those feel-good things that they can take to heart. If you want to go on and leave a positive Google review, that's also a way that you can send out shout-outs to us for my staff, because they're working hard every day. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the support of our mayors. We'll continue to put up with a fight. Like I said before, if any facility can manage this, it is Signature of Putnam County. I thank you for your time today. Thank you.
Thank you, Lee, and we appreciate you being here to bring us an update. Our prayers are with you and your staff on a daily basis, and with the families that have lost loved ones. I want to say on behalf of Putnam County, and I think on behalf of Mayor Shelton also, that you've done a great job in handling that at Signature, to be able to force the testing of everyone in your facility, telling that a lot of folks have this and don't have the symptoms, and if you hadn't tested everyone, well, the outcome could have been different. So very thankful for you and your staff at Signature and for everything that you've done. Now let's get an update on our school system from Director Corby King.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, I want to say thanks to you and Mayor Shelton for having me on today and letting me join you all. I want to begin today by discussing the governor's announcement that was made on Wednesday afternoon, recommending that all Tennessee schools remain closed for the remainder of this school year, and how that affects us in Putnam County. As with all Tennessee school systems, we are honoring the governor's recommendation to remain closed through the end of this school year, which is May 22nd. Although our buildings remain closed, school will continue during this closure through the Putnam County School System Remote Learning Plan. Teachers and staff members will continue to provide educational opportunities for students through Friday, May 15th. Beginning Monday, May 18th through May 22nd, schools will begin collecting electronic devices that have been loaned out, such as Chromebooks and hotspots that students have been using through this extended closure. A lot of students and families remain concerned about the grades that are being taken during this time. How student work is assessed will depend on the grade level and the course in which a student is enrolled. Our focus during this closure will be to provide learning opportunities and activities that will prepare students for the next grade level or course that they will enter. We're not as concerned about the grade as we are preparing students to be ready for next school year. Any grades that are assigned will be for the purpose of keeping families informed about how well your student is grasping the concepts that are being covered during the closure. We want to make sure if you're a first grade student that you're ready to enter second grade, a fifth grader is ready to go into sixth grade, or if you're a high school student that's taking an integrated 1 math course, that you have the skills necessary to be successful when you go into integrated 2. There's still a lot of material that needs to be covered in the next 7-8 weeks, and we want to make sure that we provide those opportunities for our students. If you're a student that's enrolled in dual enrollment classes with TCAT, Vol State, or Tennessee Tech, you must complete your assignments and courses in accordance with the higher education institution calendar in order to earn the credit for that class and to remain eligible for the dual enrollment program. I also want to spend a couple of minutes today talking to our seniors and our senior class. This is a very difficult time for our seniors. Not having the end of the year and the activities, everything that comes along with that, our athletes that are missing their spring sports. This is difficult because they've worked and prepared all year, and for our seniors, they've prepared for 13 years for this. With the governor's announcement, it is apparent that we will have to postpone graduation ceremonies and prom nights for all 3 of our high schools. We do not intend to cancel any of these activities. At this time, we're only looking to postpone the activities. Earlier today, a survey was sent to the senior class students and their parents asking for input on how you would like to approach rescheduling the senior class activities. Students, I encourage you to please check your PCSS10 student email account. Parents, check your email. We sent these to the parent email addresses that we have in School Messenger where report cards are sent. Parents, please check your email addresses, and we will use the information that we obtain from these surveys to help us plan the senior class events once these social distancing restrictions are alleviated and we can again gather. Registration for next school year will begin on May 1st. Normally that would be occurring already, and that's had to be postponed. So registration for next school year will begin on May 1st, and we will continue that through May 15th. New students can be registered in either an online or a paper format. For returning students, data verification forms can be sent to parents electronically using the email addresses we have in School Messenger. So if you're a student that's returning, parents just look for that information after May 1st. It'll be sent to you to your email address. For new students and new parents, and mostly this will affect kindergarten students because this is a big time, they're not going to have that opportunity to come to the school like we normally would a big registration day. So for the new students coming to our school system, registration information and online forms will be located on our school system website, pcsstn.com. That will also be available beginning May the 1st. First, you will need to complete and submit the online registration form. It'll go to the school in which you wish to register your child, and then the school will contact you to schedule an appointment. This will be a two-step process. You will have to meet the appointment, go in and talk to the school and bring in the necessary forms such as proofs of residence, shot records, birth certificates, those type things. For families that need assistance, or if you don't have electronic access, absolutely we're going to work with them. You'll be able to contact the school where your child will be registered by phone between the hours of 9 a.m. and noon, beginning May the 1st through May the 15th. More information concerning the school zones and the zoning process, registration process, what that will look like, can be found by visiting pcsstn.com or by calling Mr. Chris Pierce at 526-9777. And again, I want to talk about our school nutrition department. What these folks are doing is just outstanding. It's amazing, Mayor.
It is.
They're not, they typically would provide meals, have them there at the school and serve the meals. But right now they're putting the meals in coolers, getting on buses, and I know we're wearing some of these ladies out, and I just want them to know how much we appreciate the work that they're doing.
Absolutely.
As of today, our school nutrition department, with the help of the transportation department, has delivered 173,294 meals.
Wow. That is unbelievable, Corby.
It really is. I mean, it's outstanding. We began the first day that we offered the service serving about 4,100 meals. We're now serving over 11,000 meals per day to students. We're serving both breakfast and lunch, and this accounts for about 45% of our student body in Putnam County. The summer things, we're starting to get a lot of phone calls and questions about summer activities, and the honest answer right now is we just haven't made those decisions yet. They're still a little too far off. So we've not made any decisions concerning the summer programs. That would include summer school, summer skills academies, LEAPs, 21st century camps, our school-age child care services. We will attempt to make those decisions by the second week of May. We want to give this a little more time, see what restrictions might be lifted, and if we're starting to slowly open things back up. So once we make those decisions, it'll be based on the social distancing and recommendations that are in place for our community at that time in the second week of May, and then we'll determine if we can have those in the summer. And I think that's all I have today. And again, I just want to say thank you both to Mayor Porter and Mayor Shelton for the leadership that they continue to provide our community. I mean, these are unprecedented circumstances and times, and it's just been great that you're providing the information for the community and being here for all of us. So thank you.
Thank you, Corby, and we appreciate you. And that is absolutely amazing at the job that the school system is doing in such a tough and difficult time, providing all those over 170,000 meals to the students in Putnam County. And we congratulate you and say thank you for the job that your staff is doing. And I know it's a difficult time for our seniors and all of our students in schools, but this too shall pass, and we will get past this, and better times are coming. We now have an update from our TTU president, Mr. Phil Oldham.
Thanks, Mayor Porter.
Yes,
it's always a pleasure to be with you guys, and despite the difficulty we're all going through right now, what a wonderful community to be a part of, and certainly thanks to the leadership of both our mayors, Mayor Porter and Mayor Shelton, and great state representatives, Senator Bailey and Representative Williams, and it goes on from there. We got wonderful people in this community, and we'll get through all this together. Like all of you, we're dealing with a lot of uncertainty, but we're managing it very well. Let me try to clarify some of that and maybe remove as much of that uncertainty as I possibly can today. In terms of academic progress on campus, classes for this spring semester continue to go on, albeit in an online format. Tremendous amount of credit goes to the faculty and support staff on campus that have made that possible. They made that transition appear seamless, even though they only had about 2 weeks' notice to make that happen. But the evidence we're getting back from students is extremely positive, and great credit goes to the faculty of Tennessee Tech for making that possible. A wonderful job they've done. We're currently registering for summer and fall semesters, and we certainly encourage students to continue to do that. We have announced that we will be online for summer 1 classes, the first term of summer school. We are waiving all online fees for undergraduate courses through the summer, so there's no additional fees attached to those online courses to help help encourage students to continue to pursue their educational opportunities. One thing that's really positive that's happened on campus in the last few weeks, a number of faculty, staff, and students have been very engaged and actively producing over 1,700 face shields and in some cases parts for face shields to local and state medical professionals and first responders. I think nearly 1,000 face shields have been provided here locally to first responders and the hospital here in Putnam County and Cookeville alone. So that's a great way that we're trying to help in the local efforts as well as statewide efforts, and I appreciate those faculty and students that are making that possible as well. So as far as the campus is concerned, it's very ironic. The campus probably has never been prettier than it is right now, and unfortunately 10,000 students aren't there to enjoy it with the rest of us. But the buildings on campus are closed at this time with the exception of the Road University Center, where we're still providing some services to a couple of dozen students that remain on campus, as well as the Volpe Library that's providing educational support for students through their online classes. Almost all faculty and staff are working from home and periodically come to campus as necessary, but only about 10% of our faculty and staff are continuing to work from campus. So we've significantly reduced the number of people on campus. All meetings are being held virtually in virtual environments, and we're working really hard to make sure that those that are coming to campus are doing so in a safe manner. So we continue to provide services to a few students. We've got residence halls and Tech Village. All combined, we still have approximately 150 students that are living on campus for one reason or another, couldn't go home or to another location. We do provide meal services for those students that couldn't leave campus at this time. And the university bookstore is continuing to operate, albeit in an online format. As I said, the Volpe Library remains open for educational purposes. We're not distributing any books or other services at this time, but providing that as for internet access and learning assistance from 8 o'clock in the morning until 7 at night. Fitness Center and Athletic Performance Center, Craft Center Gallery, they're all closed at the moment, and hopefully with the announcement yesterday from President Trump, we'll be able to start thinking about reopening those in the near future. Counseling services at this time are very important. We continue to provide counseling services to students available through telecounseling online in a 24/7 type format. As has been noted, we had to ask a number of students to leave campus housing to get to safer environments to go home. Those housing refunds on a prorated basis have already been posted to accounts, and we're in the process of doing dining refunds for meal plans. That should be posted to accounts in the next couple of weeks. As far as events on campus, commencement, as has been announced, has been postponed. It's not canceled. We have postponed it to a date to be determined, hopefully later in the summer. Student leaders will help us in planning that event as a celebration at that alternative date. In addition to that, however, May 9th would have been the date for the normal commencement services. So we're planning a virtual event for May 9th, and students were sent email messages yesterday about how to participate by providing a photograph and other information, and that will be given to them at a time when they can at least enjoy something in a virtual environment. All major camps and activities scheduled on campus for the months of May and June have either been canceled or postponed, or in some cases moved to an online format. So if you had interest in a camp that typically would have taken place on campus in those months, you need to check with those organizers to see how that's being taken care of. New student orientations, the SOAR sessions have been moved to the months of July and August in hopes that we'll be able to conduct them in a normal on-campus format at that time, and we should know more about that in the coming weeks. We're still working through the CARES Act that was passed by Congress recently that is providing some financial assistance to students in need. We're working through some details about how to manage those dollars and how to get them out as quickly as possible to students in need based on the COVID-19 situation. And so stay tuned for that. We're going to try to work on that and get it out pretty quickly. We continue to look to the future. We are contacting students through calls, email, social media to help them stay connected. We continue to recruit and reach out to prospective students and parents through virtual tours, emails, and phone calls. We are beginning to get our plan together, working on a plan to get back to normal, whatever the new normal is going to look like. We're looking forward to seeing all of you back on campus in the very near future and get back to the things that we love the most. So I appreciate the opportunity, Mayor Porter, to share that, and be glad if anybody needs any more information about the campus, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, and I'll be glad to get back to you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Oldham. I appreciate you and all your staff for what you're doing. And let me say to the tech students, you're a big part of this community. We miss you, and we can't wait for you to get back on campus. Now we have an update on the state level from our state representative, Mr. Ryan Williams.
Thank you, Mayor Porter, for the opportunity to be here today. First of all, I think we'd be remiss as folks who a little over a month ago began the battle with the tornado of remembering our friends in McMinn, Polk County, Hamilton County, and Bradley County who were affected by a tornado this week. It's been difficult. No one knows, like Putnam Countyans do, the difficulty of dealing with COVID-19 and a tornado. And so our thoughts and prayers go to them. I know that some of our constituents here have been had those muscles exercised for the last several weeks, and so they've been volunteering to help their neighbors to the south. And so for that, we're very grateful. But I wanted to take the opportunity to tell you today that if one of the things that we try to draw attention to is the fact of the number of people that are recovering. Lee Rooney at Signature was talking about how some of his people are recovering. I think the percentage of Tennesseans that are recovering from COVID-19 is now well over 40%, which is a really good number. It also means that we've, based upon all the metrics, that things are looking positive. This is not a reason, however, to let your guard down. As we said last time I was here, we should all behave in such a fashion as if we did have the disease so that our families and our loved ones and our neighbors are protected. And so we should still continue to do social distancing, which I think is really important for us to do. But I do think these positives have allowed the state and the governor to begin the idea or the thought of how do we get back to work. Most of the phone calls that I get today are our small business owners, hair salons and barbers and chiropractors and physical therapists and physicians who are not allowed to open their offices or do elective surgeries. The governor did stand up this week a new task force, a working group headed by Commissioner Mark Ezel to try to find a way to, through an incremental approach, begin to get us back to work. As many of you may or may not know, hundreds of millions of dollars are being lost throughout this process, and those revenues are revenues that are extremely important to our state and how we operate. We do not have sales tax. We do not have very many forms of income other than sales tax revenue. So, and it is our major way of doing that. So, I'm looking forward to working with the governor. I know Senator Bailey and I have been in close contact with him and talking to him about what that looks like. And I know many of you have been advocating to try to get our parks and greenways open back up. And and that is of discussion right now, and we're excited to say that as well. But we do want to make sure that people do take these successes and continue on this track so that we do that. But the hope is that we could begin sooner rather than later the possibility of getting folks back to work and back to our normal lives, whether that's at school or at home or at work, and how we get back out there. And so I was on a working group this week with retailers like Target, Publix, Home Depot, Lowe's, and others on a Zoom call, as we all didn't know what Zoom was many weeks ago, about best practices and how we as retailers can come back into business and still practice social distancing and keep people safe so that we can restart this economic engine that is America and get back to the same liberties that we had before. So we're really excited about that. Appreciate the opportunity to be here today, Mayor Porter, Mayor Shelton. But the key here for the state is for us to continue on the path that we're currently doing. And so for that, we're very grateful and appreciate for the opportunity to be here today.
Thank you, Representative Williams. We appreciate you being here and for all the communication that you provide us with us on the state level of everything that's going on. You and Senator Bailey have been great, and we really appreciate that. I want to give you another reminder. We keep reminding everyone on our updates that we do, Mayor Shelton, about our tornado survivors. You are still in our thoughts and our prayers. We have not forgotten about you. If you notice, the cleanup is still underway. We're about 75%, we think, done in the county, and about 95% maybe in the city. It's getting very close. We want to remind all the property owners, though, if you live in the tornado zone, we ask that you get your debris out to the county right-of-way. The cleanup crew is trying to finish up the cleaning of the debris. We hope to try to do most of that next week. If for some reason you cannot get your debris moved out, we ask that you contact us at 646-4636, or that's 646-INFO, and we'll try to help you. Also, for our tornado survivors, our relief fund committee is in the process of dispersing the funds. You will need to fill out an assessment survey. You can do that by going to putnamcountytn.gov/survivors and click under the Tornado Relief Fund. Over 400 survivors have already filled out the assessment form. We want to try to help you in any way we can to make sure that you get this form filled out. This is the way that these funds will be dispersed. They're going to be 100% of the fund going to the survivors and their families. So if you're having problems, please call us at 646-INFO during normal business hours. Also, we're setting up a special volunteer section at the Cookeville Community Center that will be this Saturday, tomorrow, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Sunday and Monday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., and then next Tuesday from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. If you are a survivor, property owner, and have not filled out your assessment form and you need help, please go by the community center on those dates and times, and there will be someone there that will help you. Also, remind everyone again about the Census 2020 form. While you're at home, please fill out the form, get it back in. There's 3 ways to do that. You can mail it, you can go online and do it, or you can call them by calling 844-330-2020. 3 different ways to get your census form in this year. And all of that, our funds that come from the federal and state level, is dependent upon those census numbers, Mayor. So we hope that everyone will do that.
Listen, we know that businesses, small businesses especially, are hurting, and employees without a job are hurting, and so there are ways to get help with that, and we want to make sure you utilize that. But please utilize precautions still to protect yourself. Be supportive of one another, and wash your hands and observe the stay home directive and away from people as much as possible. Utilizing physical distancing and wearing a face covering or mask when you do go out. Again, it's going to be beautiful this weekend. We know people will be out, and you should. You're not mandated to be locked in your home. Get out and enjoy the sunshine and get some exercise and make reasonable, educated, common sense decisions. We must change some habits so we can stay physically healthy as businesses start opening back up, hopefully very, very soon. For the most up-to-date COVID-19 information, links, and resources, and that has links to both local, state, and federal resources, you can visit bettercookeville.com and click the COVID link. Continue to pray for our country, our healthcare workers, again, our small businesses, and our employees. Let's choose faith over fear, and God bless.
Thank you, Mayor Shelton. Let me say, we try to be as transparent as we possibly can. The numbers that we gave you on the surrounding counties at the beginning of our broadcast may not be the most up-to-date numbers. I think there's been another update that we may have not have posted. You can go to tn.gov and and click on the coronavirus update, and you can look at your county and find out exactly how many numbers that there are. We do our very best to try to bring you the most precise information we can, but from time to time, before we go on the air, we may not have the most up-to-date
that post
numbers.
every day at 2, or supposed to post every day
Yeah.
around 2 o'clock. And so you can certainly, you don't have to wait for us to tell you those numbers. You can go and look those up yourself at any time after 2 p.m. has the previous day's number.
And remember, our number is 94. We have 94 confirmed cases in Putnam County. That's 1 more than yesterday and only 2 more than we had this past Tuesday. In closing, as we continue to say day after day, we're working together as a team to fight this disease. And it appears what we've been doing is working. However, now is not the time to let your guard down. That day is coming, but for now, we must keep doing everything we can to fight this dreaded disease, which includes all the things that Mayor Shelton and I have been telling you for the past several weeks, which includes social distancing, washing your hands, and staying home as much as possible. Just remember, God promises He'll never put more on us than we can bear, and we're going to get through this together.
Absolutely.
But we have to work together. Mayor, as we do on a day-to-day basis, everyone in the community has to.
Everyone do
And if
their
everyone
part.
will do their part,
Yep.
we'll make it through this. But it all comes down to individual responsibility that we all have to do. Mayor Shelton and I will continue to do live updates to keep you informed. Our next update will be next Tuesday. We're changing our schedule a little bit next week. We're going to do updates next Tuesday and Thursday. So our next update will be next Tuesday, the 21st at 4 p.m., unless something urgent should come up between now and then, and we will always come on and do an update if we hear something new. Please continue to keep us as your community leaders in your prayers, along with our city, county, state, and country. May God bless each one of you.